All right, what's going on? So, in this video, I'm going to talk about something that is, in my opinion and experience, something that's very prevalent in today's society, and that is a victim mindset. So, for those unaware, I'll just set the stage here. A victim mindset is the kind of mindset that you have where nothing is ever your fault, everything just happens to you, and if life were perfect, you would be way further ahead than you are. You're just really unlucky, or, external circumstances are keeping you down. That's a victim mindset. And when I look around, it seems like almost everybody has a victim mindset. Everybody is on the on the comments of videos talking about, oh, well, this guy's with the great physique. Oh, he's just got better genetics than I do. If I had those genetics, I'd look like that too. The guy with the supercar. Oh, he just got lucky. Oh, he was in the right place at the right time. The guy with the guy who's got a girl. Oh, women just don't like me for some reason. Women just don't want to talk to me for some reason. And the danger of having this victim mindset is that, it's just extremely counterproductive for most things that you would want, right? So if you want to build a good physique, but you're too caught up thinking about whether you have bad genetics or not, that's counterproductive. Just work out, right? If you're worried about attracting women, women are not attracted to a victim mindset, right? That's not attractive. If you're trying to get rich, having a victim mindset thinking, oh, he just got lucky, like what, you're going to sit around and wait to get lucky too? Like, bro. So it's counterproductive, but also it prevents you from having any meaningful introspection and any meaningful self-reflection. Like when something happens to you, or when you fail to achieve a certain goal, whether from complete lack of effort, complete lack of starting, or something in between, like when you have a victim mindset and you say, oh man, I would have lost 20 pounds, I would have gotten in better shape, but my genetics aren't that good. As like, did you even bother trying? Did you actually start to try to get in shape? Like, what happened? So it like the victim mindset, it prevents you from having any serious time to look at yourself, because you'll bemoan your situation. You'll talk about how life sucks for you. But as a victim, it's never your fault, right? Because you're the victim here. So it's not your fault. Well, if it's not your fault, you can't really do anything about it, can you? Right? And so it's this kind of vicious cycle in a way where you complain about how crappy your life is, but since you're the victim, you can't do anything about it. So then you just complain about how crappy your life is, and then you don't do anything about it. And then you complain, and then you don't do anything about it. And you see where this is going. Nowhere. So that's the danger of a victim mindset, is that you have absolutely no idea where to start, no idea how to improve your life, no idea what to do. Because again, it makes sense if you think about your situation as completely outside of your control. You're just a victim of the way the wind blows. Well, of course you're not going to be able to do anything about it. But you have to snap out of that mindset. You have got to snap out of that mindset, because a victim mindset, again, literally, no matter what your goal is, having a victim mindset is going to be actively detrimental to achieving that goal. Actively detrimental. It is not going to help in the slightest. And not only is it not going to help, it's going to actively work against you in the long run. And not even in the long run, in the short run, because here's the thing, again, right? Like, if your goal is to get a girl or a guy, whatever, but if your goal is to get in a relationship and you have a victim mindset, you're going to basically put in no effort, right? Because your idea of a relationship is that, oh, well, somebody's just going to be attracted to me eventually or not, right? People are either just attracted to you or they're not. And you have to just kind of wait for someone to come along who's attracted to you. And I'm like, dude, do something to make yourself more attractive, right? Increase the chances. Because technically speaking, yes, to an extent, with a relationship, you do kind of have to wait for someone who is going to be attracted to you. Otherwise, it's not really going to work. But there are so many different things that you can do to increase the level of attractiveness, to like increase the number of people who find you attractive. There's so many things that you can do. Leveling up your mindset, leveling up your physique, right? Like there's genuinely so many things that you can do. And so something that always drives me crazy is when you got people who complain about their situation and complain about how things always happen to them. And it's like, look, you have to be the one to take charge of that. It's got to be you, right? You're not a victim here. Everybody has stuff happen to them. Life just happens sometimes, okay? Like sometimes, like being a victim is a thing. Like, but when you have the mindset of a victim at all times and in all places, it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? It's not good because you're never going to improve, right? Because the thing is about a victim mindset is you never feel like you need to improve, right? As a victim, again, like in a perfect world, to a victim, in a perfect world, they would be the richest, most successful, in the most relationships physically possible, right? Like in a perfect world, they would be at the top of the top because they're already perfect. They're just super unlucky and things happen to them all the time. And I'm like, dude, that's not the freaking truth. That's not the truth, you know? And yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine for sure. But it's more than just a pet peeve because it's like it is just so actively detrimental. You need to kick that mindset. And obviously it's tough because I feel like, you know, I mean, I'll admit, like having a victim mindset, it's a tough thing to crack because part of what goes into the mindset is you don't really feel like you need to change anything. And so obviously the first step of changing is knowing that you need to. And so it's kind of a weird vicious cycle, but just, I would really, really strongly encourage you, just look at your situation. If you're not happy with your situation, that is something that's common ground, right? Victim mindset or no victim mindset. You know, if you're complaining about something in your situation, it means that you're not happy with your situation. So like acknowledge that you're not happy with something in your situation. And then just like think about, okay, what exactly is it that makes me unhappy? And set a goal to actually changing it. Because part of the problem as well is a lot of these people, you know, they get this kind of hopelessness about them, you know, where they're like, oh, well, you know, what's even the point? You know, they don't see the point in even trying because they think that it's completely outside of their control. And it's just like, realistically, I mean, because here's the thing, right? What's the downside, though, to trying? Excuse me. What's the downside to trying? You know, like if it is completely outside of your control, there's no downside to still giving it a shot, right? At least you tried. You know, if it ends up being completely outside of your control, at least you tried. You know what I mean? And also, what if it is in your control, right? What if it works? What then? You know, like now you've changed your situation. So I know it's tough, but it's such a bad mindset. So make sure that you avoid having that mindset. And I would encourage you to really just do some deep introspection some deep personal, like just interior glancing, and just think about, okay, what exactly is my mindset? Just acknowledge that you have a victim mindset and try to work on changing it if you have one, because it really is one of the most detrimental things to self-improvement, to improving your life. It's horrible. So that's about it. That's all I got for you. If you made it all the way to the end, as always, I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, peace.